Several years ago, I decided to make storytelling my career. That was when I first realised that if you didn't live in the right place, if you weren't of the right gender, or as I'd seen with many of my friends, the right race, then it was incredibly difficult to make a career, let alone get your voice heard. You had to move to the bigger cities to make it. And that drain of voices, of talent, left the city where I lived a fairly dull place, devoid of interesting things to do or visit for. I have spoken to many organisations since then, many communities, creators and culture makers, and found that all have a shared worry that what makes their communities vibrant, their stories, their culture, is draining away. And marginalised voices are told to just integrate, to forget what makes them different, and to accept the norm, our current, pre-created global narrative. So how do we increase empathy between race, culture, politics, whether it be for people, cities, communities, or organisations? How do we foster conversation, build connections, and unlock the vibrancy, both cultural and economic, in our cities? How do we allow people at the grassroots level to tell their stories? This is why we built Storycity, which might at first glance seem a little silly.
Why be a tourist when you can be a pirate? Or the apprentice of a hero? Or survive a zombie apocalypse? Here at Storycity, you get to be the hero. You get to choose your own adventure. As you make the decisions that affect how your story ends, you also travel a unique path through the city you're exploring. When you start your adventure, the story happens in the location you're standing, and as you make each choice, you move to a new location and a new set of probabilities. Keep going until you reach the end. But here's the thing. We don't just want our platform to only house adventures or games or walking tours. We want it to tell stories of activism, of the Stonewall riots, of gender inequality, of logging destroying native lands, of the Black Lives Matter movement protests. By humanising our stories and taking back that media narrative around local issues and communities, we take the first steps to having a greater impact on furthering the conversation and action around uplifting underrepresented voices. That's why in April 2021, we're opening our platform up so any creator or organisation can tell stories of their community. We want you to redefine stories so that they're something you're a part of, rather than something you're told. To revitalise our cities so that they're places that you interact with and explore, rather than just walk through. And I urge you, whether you're a city, a community, or a storyteller, to help us revitalise the power of story for those unheard voices and narratives. You can sign up to hear about when the platform goes live for you to use at www.storycity.com.au/it's time.